Hi, I'm Dr. Keith Johnson. I got a note from my friend Jonathan, who had handed me a letter. It was a long letter. I'm not going to take time to read it, but let me condense it for you. He said that he was trying to be a good Christian, and he was so frustrated that he was trying to be better, and he couldn't figure out what his problem was. He was trying to live a better life, do better things, try not to do the bad things that he felt like were wrong. And his question to me was, what should he do? I get a lot of those kind of questions. The only answer I have is what's in the Bible. We're trying too hard to be good, and that's an empty task. The Bible makes it very clear in Romans 3, there is none good, no, not one. There is none that understandeth. There is none that seeketh after God. We are not good because God is perfect. God demands perfection from His followers. We have made mistakes. We lie, we cheat, we're greedy. There's lots of problems. You can see on this earth how many problems there are. We create those problems. But the point is, God loves us. And He's anxious for us to be a part of Him. He's anxious for us to experience His power in our life. And He's anxious to forgive us. Doesn't matter what we've done. God loves us and He cares about us. For God loved you so much, He gave His only begotten Son, that if you believe in Him you will not perish, but you will have everlasting life. You need to rest, to stop, and stop trying to be so good. Stop trying to be better. You and I won't be better. We've got a bad streak in us where we commit sin all the time. But Jesus has saved us from that sin by giving us the chance to know Him and to live for Him and to have the peace that we want. And let me mention to you a tip I learned from my last client that I spoke to. While we were talking about his tension and his trouble, he happened to mention that he didn't have much money, and I said to him, well, now there's a point by itself. Are you strapped for cash? He said, yes, sir, I am. And I said, well, I thought you made a good living. He said, I do make a good living. I said, but you're still strapped for cash. He said, yeah, I don't have any money. Well, now that's a point in itself. You know, we're given so much money by God, and there's no telling how much, but God says He gives us what we need. And if you're spending too much and not taking charge of your responsibility on the money that you're allotted, then you may be spending too much on what you're shopping for, and that could be a problem in itself, and that will cause tension. That's not being responsible for who you are. Control your spending habits and your habits that keep you from praying, habits that keep you from reading the Bible, habits that keep you from church, or habits that give money to the missions or the church, because those missions won't survive without your service. Know how much you need to spend and on what you need to spend. It's necessary to have a budget, and controlling your spending habits can help you stick to it. Budgeting helps you keep in mind what God has given you and what it's worth spending on. As we master how to control our spending habits, it becomes easier to reach our financial goals. What are your goals? What are your spiritual goals? What are your business goals? What are your relationship goals? What do you want to accomplish in what you're doing? Self-assess that. And how much money do you have? How's your budget? Figure out how your budget is working and what you need to work on. Taking time to study these things can change your life.